artillery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood. Thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed.
Hey guys, Max92, and welcome to another Issues I Have With. Today's Issues I Have With, if you saw the title, saw the thumbnail, is about Cyberpunk 2077, and mostly focusing on how it runs on the base Xbox One. So, I have the 2013 VCR box looking Xbox One. And I had attempted to get a Series X before this game came out, so that I would have a good experience. Because I assumed this would not run the game well. And spoilers, it does not. We'll get into the details in a bit. It just doesn't do well. So, I figure, I don't know how many people out there are actually talking about it, showing footage, whatnot. So that's what we're doing here. You hear my voice talking about it, you'll see footage on the screen. So, now we'll just get into the details, the nitty gritty. So to start with, this game chugs hard, like constantly, like the whole time. I don't have frame rate numbers, I don't have anything definitive because I'm playing it on the thing and I'm recording it off of it. So I don't know exactly how it's running. It's got frame drops. I had it hard crash once during my time while I was using a surveillance camera, zooming in and out. It doesn't run well, and the game also just kind of looks like mush. I don't know what resolution it's running at, and it might not help that I have it on a 4K television. So, like, if this is running at where I assume, which is below 720p most of the time, it's going to look like 4 pixels constantly, and it's kind of what it does look like. And it's to the point where how the assets load in, I can't read any of the signs up close. They're all blurry. And I assume they're not like that in other platform versions, because why would there be so many signs everywhere if you can't read them? So, like, it generally makes the experience disorienting because it's constantly skipping frames. I can't really make out detail of most stuff on my TV, and makes for a really bad experience. And I don't think, like, to be fair, I don't think any optimization could have made this game run well on this version of the Xbox One. I don't think that it was even possible, but for it to be pushed as a product on this console is kind of a problem. I mean, I get why it is, and I can just get a better Xbox One or a Series X and play the same disc copy that I own, but it's just a big problem that I can't really play the game that well. That's sort of what the specific to the Xbox One this version issues are, but I have a couple more general issues, and it seems most of them are with character creation and customization. So one of the big ones with character customization is that it seems, from what I can tell, that there are hairstyles that are locked depending on, like, which body type, like whether you choose the masculine or feminine body type, which is really silly because, like, almost nothing does that these days. It's relatively rare, actually, for there to be, like, hairstyle locks and stuff in base character customization that's trapped behind what gender you choose. And it makes even less sense in this game, where, like, the whole point of Cyberpunk is self-expression, like, in a, like, infinite way. You know, the whole cybernetic enhancement, cybernetic changes to make your body look however you want it to. And that this character customizer is pretty limited in, like, well, we want it to be this one specific character with an arc. Like, it's very limiting in that way. And having, for almost seems no reason, locked hairstyles, it's silly. And again, sort of going forward in this being like a role-playing game, why there's only 2 voice options? I mean, like, I get it. It's a fully voiced character. It costs money to get voice actors to do those sort of things. but I think even like Saints Row 4 had at least 3, and you could change pitch on all of them. You had further customization on all of the things. So in Saints Row 4, I know that there was a masculine, a feminine, and a Nolan North. I think there might have been more. That was a voiced character. You know, that character had lines and cutscenes. Again, Cyberpunk is, I'm assuming, a bigger game. It would have cost a lot more. But it just, again, makes this character creator feel very limiting just from the outset, because I have to be either, hi, I'm gruff guy, or hi, I'm gruff lady. And, like, I don't want to be either of those, really. That's not what I sound like.
I'm V.
I'm V.
I'm V.
I'm V.
So, and then the final thing with the base character customization is, I'm not 100% on this, but it seems like certain character customization aspects might be locked behind the life path you choose, because I didn't have any options for Cyberware choosing Nomad, and I didn't know that would be a thing. Like, I think I understand narratively why it's there, but, like, don't show me the Cyberware box if I can't, there's no options in it. Don't show it to me then. You know, X it out. There's nothing in it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. That one's sort of a nitpick. Going further into more issues, general issues that still sort of stem around character customization, is that when you equip a hat, it changes your hairstyle. That's silly. That's really basic. Like, why? I chose this hairstyle for my character for a reason. Why would you do that? Why would you make the hat make the hair different? I don't know if I have footage to show of this, but it just wholly changes the hairstyle in a way that's like, I don't want that. That's not the hairstyle that I chose for my character. Don't do that. Don't mess with an RPG player's character visually. It's to the point where I just haven't put on a hat, because the hats I've tried have all changed in my hairstyle, so I just don't use the hat. And you can't see your character, but, like, it's still, like, it's sort of like a principle that, like, I want my character to look sort of the way I want it. This even kind of extends out to the rest of things, because there's this double-edged sword with making equipable loot change characters how they look visually, because it makes it so you can't just wear whatever you want. You're sort of just going to wear the strongest thing until you get, you know, into a place where there are things that, like, until you get into a place where you can buy things that look the way you want. That are, like, you can buy things that have the stats and look the way you want. And so my character just sort of looks like whatever, because I just equip the strongest thing. I'm not thinking I'm alone on that. So it's a sort of a double-edged sword, because if you couldn't change your character's visuals, or if the equipment didn't have stat changes, it would feel useless, or it would feel limiting. But when it does, it also feels limiting, because I don't know if there's a way around this at all, but it's an issue that I have. It's the name of the show, the name of the show we're on. It's an issue I have with Cyberpunk 2077. And my last big thing is that there's no way to edit character customization, as far as I can tell, after you finish the starting character customization. I can't go change my hairstyle at, like, a salon. I can't get different makeup. I can't change anything after you finished character customization. And that's a problem, because I figured, okay, there's not a lot of hairstyles here. Maybe there'll be more in-game. You know, maybe there's more that I can change in-game, but there's not a way to change in-game. So it just tells me that there are just not that many hairstyles. Like, there's like 30-something hairstyles, but there's not a lot of, like, curly hairstyles. There's not a lot of hairstyles where that's sort of like what my hair is, what a lot of natural black hair is like. And some of the ones that are, from what I can tell, are gender locked. So like there's a big curly afro that you can only have if you've chosen the feminine body type. And I don't get why. I just don't get why. Why are the hairstyles gender locked, and why can't I change them in game? Other than these sort of things, like the game seems like it would be fun if it didn't chug and wouldn't look like mush. Like the combat is cool. It's first-person shooters, on the console with a controller. They are, you know how it is. Controllers aren't the best control scheme for an FPS, but I'm having fun with it. Like I'm not hating combat. So it's just disappointing that there's all these things in character customization for this role-playing game that pull me out of being able to play the role, and then all of these technical issues from the console that pull me out from being able to play the game, to where I think I might have to set this down and wait until I'm able to get a Series X, which may be like 4 or 5 months being like stock and waiting, saving money and waiting for stock might be 4 or 5 months. So that's kind of a problem. I pre-ordered this game at the end of September before there was crunch, before the game got delayed again and all this stuff. And I was expecting to see this game in November before I could even get a Series X. So I would be able to do this and then make a decision as to whether I feel I should try and get a Series X as early as possible. I forewent getting a Series X because I missed my chance Black Friday because GameStop was crowded, and I just decided I'm just going to get myself some things with the money I would have spent on a Series X. And by the time Series X's are back in stock, which is projected to be April-ish, I'll have the money again. I can get one then. I'll get one then. But I'm here now with Cyberpunk, barely able to play the game, a game that I've wanted to play for a while now, and I'm just kind of stuck. I will probably just play something else until I can get a Series X, and that's not good for the game, because having active players is the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle for this sort of thing. And I mean, it's probably good to even just wait for some patches, wait for the game to be more stable in general. But it's a disappointment. I wanted to play this, and I can't really play it on my Xbox One. So, hey, Editing Max here, and there's a couple things I neglected to mention in my original recording here, and some of them was intentional. Like, there were a lot of controversies around this game, and there continue to be, and I figure I don't have much to add to that. There are plenty of people who have talked explicitly about these things and tried to explain them and whatever, and so probably go look for other people to talk about that. That's not really my area of expertise for the most part. And the other thing is, one of the things that I have an issue with that I forgot is that you can just pick up pretty much anything off the ground, out in public, wherever. Like, there doesn't seem to be consequences. The book that I have mentioned something about stealing being a thing you can get in trouble for, but I've not seen that whatsoever. I've just been able to pick up anything that wasn't nailed down, and so that's kind of stupid. I'm in a public market. I shouldn't be able to grab alcohol bottles off of the vendors' stalls. That's silly. That's really silly. Anyway, those are the things I had to add here, so we'll go back to the end of the video now. That's the end of the video. Those are the issues I have with Cyberpunk 2077 on the base Xbox One, as well as just issues I have with Cyberpunk 2077. So, If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. Also dislike. You're allowed. If you have discourse, go down in the comments. You can leave a comment on what you think. You know, if you have a different opinion, if you want to discuss, there's a comment section. You can do that. And if you want to share the video, you can share it. If you want to keep up with what I do, including this series and many others, hit the subscribe button and you'll get notifications probably. I don't know how YouTube works anymore with that. It's a mess. Down in the description, you can find links to all my places, Patreon, my Twitter, my Bandcamp. I do release some music. You can find all that stuff down in the description. And anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
You guys never get bored, do you?
Three つ数える。その間に消え失せろ。地獄に送ってやるよ。